Alright, the Yoruba would say, Dear Omokunrin Oto, a little of a man is not enough. Today, people think that marriage is for romance and street roaming and idle gist and petty shopping and pleasure loving and all of that. Yes, all of these may feature in a marriage affair or marriage relationship, but marriage means a lot more than that. In Africa, and I can say that in Yoruba land, Kaaro Ojire space, world, the Kaaro Ojire universe, where I come from, we don't marry for romance. We marry for purpose. And any marriage that is not purpose oriented will settle with the petty things and stay there and think that that is all that marriage is all about. Just as you have in a nation the three arms of government and the media, the fourth estate of the realm. Today they say they have the fifth estate of the realm, which include the bloggers and gossip mills and those ones. A marriage also has all of these, though not in a way that is so obvious, but the systems are there. In a marriage, you also have the executive arm, you have the legislative arm, you have the judicial arm of the marriage. Now, the husband is the executive president of his family. The wife could be likened to the chief of staff, and the chief of staff is under the executive president. You have the legislative arm of the family. Again, unlike the way it is in outside, in society, in the government of a nation or state, unlike the way it is, the same person who is the head of the executive arm, who is the executive president, is also the head of the legislative arm. And he invites, he engages anybody that he pleases to work with him in that regard. The same person is still the head of the judicial arm of the government of his family, and he engages anybody that he pleases to work with him in that regard. Now, the wife, in addition to being the chief of staff, has like an honorary role for advisory services. If she earns it, when she earns it, she enjoys the honor of giving pieces of advice that will be respected, that will be accepted, that will be put to use. In most cases, men of those days would just keep you as a baby making machine, and they won't bring to you issues that are beyond your mental capacity, issues that you don't have the discipline to handle. They won't divulge sensitive matters to you because you do not have the discipline to keep your mouth shut where you are not supposed to go and share such. And we thought that, a lot of people thought that the ways of those forefathers were not modern, so they took to the modern ways, and men are becoming weaklings. when the role of the chief of staff is such an important role that if not well performed, well executed, well carried out, it is true, it is basic that the judicial, the legislative arms will suffer. But again, on our side, you know that you can easily replace that. So the woman knows that, yes, as important as this role of the chief of staff is, it is a very replaceable, you know, a position that which you can easily replace the occupier, the occupant, the one on the stool of the chief of staff in the family, can be easily replaced if she is not competent. You are first and foremost a leader to your wife before being a friend. If you can't be a leader to a woman, you will disappoint your lineage. You disgrace them, you disappoint them. And when people today marry only to think that they are not just friends, but they are playmates as kindergarten playmates. Oh, do you think a president will not respect the chief of staff? He will. Do you think a chief judge will meet the chief of staff to the president and will? He will. So it's a very honorable position. But marriage is a serious matter. People think it's about being able to go and eat out in an expensive restaurant. It's about being able to afford the latest clothing. It's about being able to travel for holidays. It's about, yes, it's about all of that. And all of that will come along, but that's not the main agenda. The main agenda is about two people coming together to help each other fulfill destiny. And if your destiny is a serious matter to you, you know that a partner in making your destiny come to life is somebody that should be respected both ways. But the man has a lot to do in setting the tone for what the relationship should look like. Do you know that a woman doesn't even, yes, you are desperate, you want to marry, you see a weakling hanging around, you're such a fool, somebody you can easily manipulate, somebody you can command, somebody you can say, give me that, and he releases it to you like a fool. Yes, a woman who wants to hang around there and enjoy it while it lasts, but he doesn't want to spend her life with you because she knows, she doesn't want to spend her life because she knows that if there is a crisis, you will not be able to square up to it and keep her safe. That is why people who are powerful, yes, people who are popular, people who are famous, people who have money, people who are powerful are easily attracted to women. But when you talk of being famous, it is because the woman thinks that all the things that come with the fame will be a saving grace on tough days, in tough times. If it is money, you know that money can buy so much, including security, safety, and all of these important things. And being powerful is almost basically enough, because you know that with power, many other things can be acquired. If you are talented, but you don't have, yes, too much of power will make you a brute, too much of love will make you a weakling. So it is high time we go back to study how those larger than life babas did it in those days. Yes, some of them were a bit tough, harsh, weak. In fact, some of them were wicked. So the important thing now is to find like a middle road approach to it. You don't want to be as wicked as those Baba who even have cane to flog their wives. You don't want to go to that era. At the same time, you don't want to go out there like a fool with saliva drooling from your mouth and mucus drooling out of your nose, and a woman says sit down there, and you no. Because we don't want our sons to be like that. We don't want somebody else's sons to be like that. Even the woman that is disrespecting her husband does not want her son to be that. We don't want sons of men to be like that. Dear Omokunrin Oto, a little of a man cannot be enough. It's not enough. Will never be enough. A man is supposed to be the leader, the executive president of his family, the chief judge of his family, the speaker of the house of his own family, with the wife as the chief of staff and honorary advisor. That is why today we have men who are slicing okra and using the road. They know how to use the rolling pin. They know how to grind the pepper. They know how to do all of that, but they don't know how to go and help us face Boko Haram, because we have turned all of the society has turned all of them to weaklings, okra slicing, pepper grinding men. In those days, yes, when a man is working, they have the skill, because in those days people are not together all of the time. The wife has her space, the woman has the man has his space, the woman has her own space. There will be times that the man will be away on the farm for hours, sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks. So you have to cook there. So men of those days were taught they knew how to cook, but they cook on the farm when the wife is not present. At home, they are thinking of security, they are thinking of protection, they are thinking of provision, they are thinking of investment, they are thinking of how to expand the farm, how to buy cocoa plantation, they are thinking of how to repair the roof that is leaking, the leaking roof. They are thinking of how to advance this, to raise the status of their family within society and become a chief in town. They are thinking of how to raise more powerful men than them, who can face the things that they were facing when they become old. These young men would have become strong men who can also defend the family. And then because people went abroad to go and see what's happening on the streets, they came back to sell to us the street culture as the ideal. You now hear of women slapping their husbands. At a time it was indoors, today it is outside. You hear of women slapping their husband, you hear of women stabbing their husband, you hear of women killing their husband, not by poison, but physically. How? In those days, how? The woman know, a man in those days would know how to raise his feet and fling the knife out of the lady's hand. In those days, you won't go to any military training, but you will have some basic military skills, from how you combated the lion on the farm, the snake, and all of that. You have basic training on how to defend yourself. Dear Omokunrin Oto, in every way that a man should be strong, a man is supposed to seek what it takes to be a strong man. At the end of the day, just like the training they give to soldiers, yes, we know that you are mighty, we know that you can fight, we know that you can use the gun, we know that, but it is not for the house. It is not for the house. Unfortunately, the men are not even, the men of today are the one being beaten up by somebody's daughter. It is the men that are now being beaten cheaply by somebody's daughter. Dear ọmọkùnrin òtó, be nice, be kind, be responsible, provide for your family. You are the one who is supposed to defend the family, protect your family from external aggression. You are the one who is being harassed within your own space. So what will you do? What do you have to offer in the face of a crisis approaching from outside? What do you have to offer in the case of an aggressor approaching from outside? Can you defend that woman if problem comes from outside? Life is not about consumption. Food you can eat, drugs you can use, and this you can afford, wine you can have. It's not, life is not about, particularly for a man. It is the man who provides this thing for the lady to sit there. And life is not about being able to afford consumables, including the ones that would put you under negative influence, that you won't be able to reason straight, you won't be able to think right, you won't be able to act aptly. Dear ọmọkùnrin òtó, a little of a man is not enough. And whatever the form of power that you have acquired, it is not to harass your wife or the people who are not as strong around you. But again, the fact that you have been trained not to harass the women and the people who are not as strong around you does not mean you should be the underdog in a place where you're supposed to be the executive president, the chief judge, and the speaker of the house, all combined in one role. Dear ọmọkùnrin òtó, the world today is waiting for another generation of men who would know that they are executive president. The wife is just, and being the chief of staff is not just. The wife is the chief of staff, but the man combines the role of the executive president with the chief justice, with the speaker, giving and engaging and involving whoever he pleases on the other side. Dear ọmọkùnrin òtó, a little of a man is not enough. The world today is waiting for the generation of men who will be able to say no to security threats. Okra slicing, pepper grinding men will think at the pepper grinding level. They will think they can only reason at the okra slicing level. We want men who know that yes, she's cutting the okra every day. Yes, she is grinding the pepper every day. But I should be man enough should a snake appear. I should be man enough should some unscrupulous element knock on the door at 1 a.m. I should be man enough. The world is waiting for that generation of men once again. Dear ọmọkùnrin òtó,